Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be continuing with the Cassey Awards. What am I looking for? There it is. And let me just touch up my gloss real quick, because you know, that's what you guys need to see. And we'll get into it. So, today we are talking about face products, so we're going to be talking blushes, bronzers, contours, highlights, all that fun jazz. So let's just hop right in because these videos tend to be really long to begin with. So please don't mind my hair. I absolutely hate it. Yeah. I can't wait till I can afford to go back to crazy colors. Anyway, so first things first, let's talk about blushes. We all know blush is one of the things I hoard. So my favorite blush of the year was actually in one of the blush palettes of the year. So I'm definitely going to need to buy it full size, but it's the Rockateur blush by Benefit. It is so pretty. So as you just saw, I've used a lot of it. I'm not wearing it today. No, I'm not. But I've been wearing it like pretty much every day this week. Not this week. Every time I've worn makeup. That's the shade of it. It's like this nice mauve-y tone. Mauvey tone? Mauvey tone? Mauvey tone? Mauvey tone. Oh, my highlight's kind of worn down. That's okay. But it's super, super pretty for everyday wear, especially for us fair girls in the winter time when, you know, our cheeks are naturally more flushed and it just gives that illusion of having more flushed cheeks. It is so, so gorgeous. I need to move that. My favorite drugstore single blushes, are the CoverGirl True Blend blushes. Now I own two and I love both colors. This one is the one I use most often because it's meant for my skin tone and it's just so easy to work with. It's in the shade Light Rose. Now these are baked blushes, so they are a little shimmery. That's that one. Super, super pretty. And I'm okay with a shimmery blush. Like, I know some people are like, matte, 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 matte. But I'm okay with it because I got dry skin. And well, as I've said before, I need all the help I can get. And then the other one I have is in medium rose. I used to have like the dark rose color too, but I decluttered that one and gave it to Sonnet. Hi, Sonnet. So that's the medium rose shade. Reminds me a lot of the Rockateur, but just a little bit more pinker. The Rockateur is more like a tanny mauve color, and the True Blend medium rose is more of a pinky mauve color. I don't know if that makes sense, but I mean, you saw the swatches, you know what I'm talking about. So these are absolutely amazing. A lot of my categories in this one have mostly drugstore. I haven't branched out too much into high-end when it comes to this because I think the drugstore just has so many good options on its own. My favorite blush palette, so my high-end one, which I just showed you the Rockateur blush from, it's actually a discontinued product, but they do have another one that's similar. So it is the Benefit Cheekathon palette. I absolutely love this palette. As you can see, I've hit pan on Hoola. I've used Rockateur very often. I used to use Dandelion a lot. I tried using Coralista, but it's a little too orange for me, so I'm probably never going to use that. And I used Dallas on my mom, but I haven't used it on me yet, so I'm going to have to try that because, again, really pretty, like, mauvey brown shade. Actually, are that and Rockateur like the same? Okay, no. So Dallas is even more brown than, like, more brownie mauve than Rockateur is. Like, dang. So, again, this is discontinued, but they also have, shoot, what's the new one? This is the Cheek Parade palette, which is very similar, but it has Hula Light, Dandelion, California, which I do have, and I think another one. I'm not exactly positive, but I think these are such great deals from Benefit because the box blushes are pretty expensive. And so I want to say, just for rough estimation, I'm not positive if these are the exact numbers, but say each one of these blushes are $25. The whole palette was like $30. So it was such a great deal that I could not pass it up. So absolutely love that palette. For my drugstore blush palettes, I have to give it to Makeup Revolution this year. I know last year and I think the year before I gave it to e.l.f. I still love their blush palettes, but Makeup Revolution killed it for me this year. This one is in Sugar and Spice. It's absolutely gorgeous. It doesn't even look like I've really used them, but that's because you literally need to go in and just boop, just with your brush, just boop, because they're so pigmented. Like, I love this shade. And I love this shade. Like, look how pigmented those are. Like, holy crap. And then they have like these baked ones on the end. So they're a little shimmery. Don't think I've used any of the baked ones in here yet. In either of them yet. But again, really shimmery, really pretty. Oh, so pretty. And then I also have it in Hot Spice. This is the one I use the most out of the two, because these are like the nice orangey colors that I love, but I can't find a lot that work on me. So I've used this one a lot, and I've used this one a lot. And they're both super pretty. Like, look. Oh, I know, awkward swatching. I'm sorry. Awkward swatching is part of my job. I'm just kidding. I don't get paid for this as of right now. Maybe eventually, but not as of right now. And then these are the two baked ones, which again, super pretty. And they're a great bang for your buck. They're $10 each, I want to say. For 8 shades. So that's less than $2 a blush. So I would really, 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 really recommend these to you. So let's see. Cream blush. I have 2 drugstore options. Once again, where'd the other one go? There it is. And they're like from the cheapest brands at the drugstore, which, hello, that's awesome. So my first one, I actually just did a review not too long ago on it. I will link it in the cards up here. I remembered. And this is the Wet n Wild blush stick in the shade Peach Bums. It is so pretty. It has a nice sheen to it. It's like a nice peachy pink color that's not too like orangey peachy pink for my skin tone. I absolutely love this. And then the other one I have is from e.l.f. And it's from their Beautifully Bare line, and this is in Rose Royalty. I brought this with me when we went to the lake house last year. You kind of need to warm it up with your finger a little bit, but once you do, this one's matte. But once you do, it is just so pretty. Look at that. So, can you tell I'm kind of like into the peachy pink shades? Because, I mean, that's just what I love. So I would highly recommend those to you. The Wet n Wild blush stick was like $5, and I want to say the e.l.f. Beautifully Bare Cream Blush was like $6, maybe $8 most. They're both very affordable, and I absolutely love them. So let's see, what's next? Cream contour. So I actually have 2 options from the drugstore once again. And again, one of them I just did I've actually done a review on both of these. This one is the Wet n Wild contour stick in Oaks on You. Really, really, really creamy, really, really, really nice. it's like a greeny shade, but when you blend it out, you kind of see the warmth to it. So this is the fairest one, and it can sometimes look even a little too orange on me. So yeah, but it's so nice and it's so easy to blend, especially if you use a beauty sponge. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then the other one is the Jordana Sculpt to Go. I have mine in the shade medium. And I'm pretty fair and I can get away with the medium shade. And it, like, you can tell from the two that the Jordana is a lot cooler toned than the Wet n Wild. So that's kind of where you can see how warm toned the Wet n Wild one is. I've considered going and getting the light shade for Jordana. Now that I found the light shade, but I don't know, I like the medium shade. It still works for me. So, I'm just dropping all the makeup today. I've already broke one of my highlighters that I'm going to be talking about, which makes me so sad, but thankfully I have isopropyl alcohol to fix it. So, absolutely love these two. And Wet n Wild, I want to say they're both under $5. Where did that go? Like, I know the Wet n Wild's like $4 something, making it like $5, and I want to say the Jordana one is the same, but it's been so long since I bought the Jordana one. I'll link the review up in the tags because it'll probably tell you what the price of that was, and also so you can know what my opinion of it was, if you couldn't have guessed already, considering it's in Best of 2017. I'm sorry, I'm a little extra today. So let's see. Single contour. So my favorite high-end single contour product is the Benefit Hoola Bronzer. I got this in like a pack with a mini of the Professional primer and a mini of the What's Up highlighter. And I haven't used much of this because I've been working on the one in my Cheek Parade palette, but it is an absolutely gorgeous color. It's like, it's neutral, so it's like a cool tone, but it's a warm tone at the same time, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And I love using the brushes that come with them. It just really gets in there. It kind of reminds me of the Ita brush from NARS, and I absolutely love this powder. It blends so nicely. For the longest time, I didn't think I liked it, and then I loved it. So again, the box blushes and bronzers are a little expensive, so if you can get it in something like the Cheek Parade or the Cheekathon palette, like I have the Cheekathon, the Cheek Parade is what's available right now. I would highly recommend that to get more bang for your buck, but this is absolutely wonderful if the Hoola bronzer is all you want. It will last you forever. And then the one from the drugstore, I think everyone and their mother has talked about, it is the NYX Powder Blush in the shade Taupe. They have repackaged these and renamed them to the HD blushes. Taupe is still available, which is why I don't mind mentioning it. This is much more cool toned than the Hoola. I will say that right off the bat. And this is really pigmented, so you got to be careful when applying it, because if you apply too much, it's not going to look like a contour. It'll just look like a gray stripe on your face. See, like, it is very much more cool toned than the Hoola. The Hoola next to the NYX Taupe looks very warm, but that's just because of how cool toned NYX Taupe is. But it works very well for us fair girls. I don't know how well it would work for medium tones, and it definitely probably would not work out for deep tones, but for us fair to light girls, it would definitely work with you. And yeah, and I know Hoola did come out with a Hoola light version. I'm kind of interested in trying it out, but I'm kind of not. It kind of looks like another Reserve Your Cabana by Wet n Wild situation, where it's like they tried to make a really light bronzer and then they failed. So I don't know. I just need to go into Sephora or Ulta and swatch it and see, but as of right now, I'm kind of not interested in it. So contour palettes. I'm gonna have to give my e.l.f. contour palette another go around this year. It is absolutely beautiful palette. It's only $6. And if you have the other e.l.f. palettes, as you know, I think I mention this every time I bring up one of my e.l.f. palettes. But it's not doing it. Why isn't it doing it? The point is, these pop out and you can mix and match, but I really like just keeping them the way they are. That's just me personally. I know other people who have mixed and match. And this contour palette is only $6. And like, let me show you. Like, this is a great under eye setting powder. You can barely see it. This is a great highlighter for someone that's just getting started. Like, look at that sheen. They do make a deeper one for deeper skin tones too. This makes a great bronzer for us fair girls, and this just makes a great contour as well. I'm sorry that the swatches aren't coming out that well. My eczema's been acting up, and trying to swatch over my eczema makes it look very patchy, but I promise it's generally not. Here, why don't I roll up my sleeves and I'll show you that way. Like, look. So, like, you see that they're not patchy or anything like that. That's just my eczema making it look patchy. I swear. I hate eczema. If you have eczema, I feel for you. But this is such a great palette, especially for you drugstore girls out there like myself. For high-end, I would really recommend the Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette. You get 3 gorgeous shades. I tend to use this shade for contouring, this shade for bronzing. Don't really touch this shade and don't really touch this shade. It's generally these 4 shades, but I like the fact that they have options there for the deeper skin tones. So, like, look how pretty that, and they blend so easily, guys. Like, I don't know how else to really explain it. They're really soft powders, just a fair warning. I could probably use that dark one, like, if I'm careful. I could probably even use that as an eyeshadow. It would just take me forever to use up as an eyeshadow. But it is super nice and blendable, like, it's super blendable. So I would really, I need a new one. I would really highly recommend the Kat Von D to you. I think it's the best bang for your buck. Like, the Anastasia one is nice, but it's not. I tend to reach for my Kat Von D one over my Anastasia one. Then again, I tend to reach for my e.l.f. one over my Kat Von D one. But you get my point. I just reached for that one more than I reached for my Anastasia one, which is why it is in my best of 2017. You can see just from the packaging that I love it. So, highly recommend. Cream highlighters. Oh wait, no. I lied. Bronzers. I only have one to share with you guys, and it's going to be obvious because it's the one I talk about the most, and it is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. It is just a gorgeous tone. I have mine in light bronzer, and it's just the perfect tone for me. I absolutely love it. I love the smell of it. I'm not going to stay on this product too long just because I talk about it all the time. You guys know how much I love it. So, cream highlighters. I have 2. One's a little more expensive and one's a little bit more cheaper. They're both from the drugstore though. So the one that's a little more expensive is the Maybelline Master Strobing Stick. This is so pretty. This is like $10. It's so pretty. It's like a pinky champagne color. I have it in light iridescent. Like, that's so pretty, guys. And then the other one is the Jordana Glow and Go. This one is in Pearl Glow. It is the lightest one. And it's so pretty. This is more of like a white champagne-y color. This is, again, like $5 maybe. And it's so pretty. These are just so nice and so easy to work with. And they're so easy to blend out. Again, I just go in with a beauty sponge, blend it out. It is so beautiful. All right. So, highlighting palettes. I'm missing one. There it is. My drugstore option for you. Surprise, surprise, is another e.l.f. product. This is their illuminating palette. These are really nice, especially if you're more into subtle highlighters. Like, super, super pretty. I really, really enjoy this palette. I think it's really nice. Again, only $6. Again, if you're better than me, they pop out and you can mix and match and create your own customized e.l.f. palette. But it is absolutely beautiful. I love doing like subtle glow. I actually put on a stronger highlight today, but it must have faded. I'm sorry. In fact, considering it's the next product I'm talking about, let me touch up. For my high-end side, I consider it high-end if the product costs more than a certain amount. But let me show this to you. Like I must have like laid my hands on my face the wrong way or something, because this is gorgeous. And they can be pretty blinding. So again, I'm not quite sure what happened there, but you can see that's pretty blinding. But it is the Makeup Geek highlighters. I have the palette that they did in collaboration. Ooh, that they did in collaboration with Kathleen Lights. I absolutely love Kathleen Lights. I want her Dream Street collection, just saying. I have all of her collabs so far with the exception of the Aquarius collection and the new Dream Street collection. I need to get my hands on them soon. But I absolutely love this and would highly recommend it to anyone. I want to get some of her single highlighters too, just because I know this isn't going to be in stock forever and I'm not going to be able to talk about it forever. But I do absolutely love her highlighter formula and would recommend it to anyone. So even if that, for whatever reason, is out of stock by the time this video goes up, just get her single ones. It's the same formula and it's absolutely amazing. Ooh. Okay, subtle highlights from the drugstore. They're both from the drugstore. This one I've been talking about for years. It's Hard Candy Tiki. It is bronzer, again, and not a bronzer. Not really sure why they're calling it a bronzer, but it is a beautiful, like, gold. Why am I the queen of awkward swatches? It is a beautiful gold highlight. See, like, it is a beautiful gold highlight. Absolutely beautiful and super subtle. I wore this on my wedding day. That just tells you how much I love it. And then one that came out, I want to say in 2016, maybe the beginning of 2017. But I didn't get it till 2017 and start loving it till 2017. And then that is the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter and Be My Highlight. Essence, if you are listening to me, do not ever discontinue this and come out with more shades. That would be much appreciated. Look how nice that is. And it's so subtle. It's definitely for those of you who love subtle highlighters. I like subtle highlighters. I like blinding highlighters. I like it all. I just like makeup in general. But it's absolutely gorgeous, especially for every day. I know Kathleen Lights uses this Kathleen Lights uses this more as a setting powder than she does a highlight, which is also a great way to use it. I absolutely love it. It's only like $2, maybe $3, and this is $8. You cannot go wrong. Okay, now for my blinding highlights. I have a high-end in a drugstore. My drugstore has to go to the Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighters. I have 3. I want to say they have 6 available. This one is in Golden Lights. I want to say this is my most used. Like, look at that. Look at that. This one is Radiant Lights. Or maybe this one's my most used. I can't even tell anymore. Look at that. Okay, I think Radiant Lights was definitely my most used. I know Peach Lights is my least used. But it's still beautiful. Because Peach Lights is my least used, I kind of have to dig into it a little bit more. I'll put that one up here. But you can see just how like gorgeous and blinding those are, right? Oh, so pretty. They're only $6, guys. $6. Like, who would have thought? I was only using the Golden Lights the most for the longest time because it was the only one I could find for the longest time. But it was absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love them. And I really like using these with the Eco Tools, like fan brush. Like, it's a very nice thick fan brush. I think it would also really work well for contouring. I want to try it out for that. But I do really love using that with my Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighters. And yeah. My last highlighter that I want to talk about for blinding highlights, and just to end out the video because these are gorgeous, are my Becca Shimmering Skin Perfectors. I have like every shade that would work well on my skin. This was my very first one and what's got me hooked. I can't really hold it up too much because I literally dropped it right before this video and it broke. But it's Champagne Pop. This was in collaboration with Jaclyn Hill. Thank God I have isopropyl alcohol to fix this. This, I literally use the Morphe fan brush that I got for my birthday. And because of how blinding they are. Like, you need the littlest bit for these. This one is in Pearl. This one I wore over the holidays. It looked so good. Like, look at that. Look at that. Like, oh. This one is an Opal. This one is a cult classic. Like, oh, look at that. Look at that. And you would think that like Opal and Champagne Pop wouldn't work for my skin tone just based off of the swatch, but when I put it on my face, I don't know how, it just works. And then this one is in Moonstone. I got, this packaging is different because I got it in a set with the Moonstone Liquid Mini. Look at that. Look how gorgeous. These are my favorite highlighters. I want to get more highlighters from Becca, see if they even compare to the Shimmering Skin Perfectors. I want to try the Shimmering Skin Perfector Poured, the liquid. I have a mini of the liquid for Moonstone, and I thought that was gorgeous, so I want to try it all now. Like, I want to try everything Becca has, because I love Becca. So that's it for this video. Stay tuned for my eyes and lips video. In my last video, I had you guys, in my skincare. Last video, I had you guys vote on hair care. Today, I'm going to have you vote on whether or not you want a best of 2017, like, shower body products kind of thing. I don't know. But let me know down below. I love you guys. Bye.